Ideogram's added a new feature called Canvas, and in this video I'm going to show you how to utilize it to improve your print-on-demand designs. So if you've been on Ideogram the past few days, you might have noticed that the Canvas feature is now showing on the left-hand side right here all the time. One way to use it though, if you've generated a graphic and you want to make a minor change, for example, I really like this result, except I don't want the second owl right here, is you can now also find it by clicking on these three dots right here on your specific result and then click Edit in Canvas. This will open that exact image up in the Canvas editor, and this actually kind of works like your typical design tool where you can move around, you can zoom in and out, you can move elements around as well, and even have multiple artboards or designs kind of going at the same time. But let me show you how to get rid of this owl right here. I think probably the most important or useful feature for print-on-demand sellers is the magic fill. I'm going to also talk about extend, but I think for us t-shirt designers, magic fill is probably going to be the most effective. So if I want to replace this owl or remove it, I will have to click on magic fill right here. And then this toolbar right here opens up, or it changes. And we've got a few different options to select elements. You can either do it with a rectangle mask, which in this case kind of works, but it's not perfect. You also have a brush mask right here where you're essentially painting over the object, which is good for small elements, but for this owl it takes quite a while. By the way, I'm hitting Control Z to undo my last step right here, and yeah, just go back to the default essentially. Then you've got the lasso mask, and this is where you can draw around shapes. If you're wondering how I'm zooming in and out, by the way, that's by holding down Control and scrolling. So I'm quite zoomed in now to draw around this owl right here with this lasso tool. That way we can be a lot more accurate. So I just want to grab the shape of the owl, kind of like so, and then I'll let go, and there we go. Now we've got that highlighted. We can click on next right here, and we can now describe what we want to see instead of this selection. So I can just say remove the owl and add a leaf instead, for example, to fill in the space. Then we just click magic fill. You don't even have to say that about the leaf. You could just say remove the owl, and it will try and fill in that empty space with whatever suits the rest of the graphic. But now, as you can see, this is generating right here. It usually takes about 10 to 20 seconds.
12 seconds later.
And here we are. The leaves look absolutely perfect. They suit the graphic very well. They even have this stroke outline as well. And you do also have multiple options for the results up here. So if you don't like the initial one, you can choose, as usual, from 4 generated results. Then if you found one that you like, you can click on these 3 dots and download it as per usual. Now, another thing you can do with the magic fill option is you could replace just one element right here. So for example, let's say you really like the graphic, you've already downloaded this design, but maybe you want to add a different phrase. Well, in that case, you can once again use magic fill. I have the rectangle mask selected this time, and I'm going to highlight, first of all, this top row of text and then the bottom one as well. And maybe I'll also draw a box up here. Let's make this a little bit bigger because I want to see if it can generate a new phrase along the top and the bottom of this graphic to kind of change the layout around a little bit. Let's hit next up here and tell it what to say. So I've put change the text to owls are my spirit animal, and I'm also going to turn the magic prompt to auto this time. That way some of the results will have magic prompt enabled, because I'm curious what that's going to look like. And let's go ahead and hit magic fill again. So here we go. The results all look fairly similar. Unfortunately, it didn't put the text at the top right here, maybe because that box was literally an empty space. I'm not sure. And also the magic prompt is kind of disappointing. It didn't really add much to it. Maybe I thought it would add a bit more about the colors or the type of font, maybe like a 3D effect in the lettering, something like that. But I should probably add that myself to the prompt to get some more interesting looking text right here, because at the moment it is a bit bland. But that's just a quick example of how to swiftly change the phrase right here within Ideogram without having to go through the process of taking this out, removing the background and editing different elements in something like Photoshop. So another way to use the Canvas system is if you're on the home page, you can just click on it on the left hand side right here, It's going to open up your most recent project, but you can also just click the plus symbol right here. If you want to be a bit more organized than me, you can also rename your project. So let's call this right here Mountain Sunset, for example, and we can start from scratch on this empty canvas right here by writing out a prompt. So let's do something on the lines of a vintage sunset vector design graphic showing a mountain silhouette isolated on a white background. Fairly simple prompt. I will have magic prompt enabled again, or the auto version where it's sort of half and half, supposed to be half and half, and the color scheme. Now we might actually select one of these preset color schemes right here just for fun. Let's test out this one right here, mosaic, and hit generate. Now, as you can see, it's got the 4 images right here showing up next to one another. It's a really cool kind of new layout, a way to look at these AI tools, having it in this kind of Photoshop or Illustrator style canvas editor. It's not even Photoshop, it's more like Illustrator with the separate artboards and one document. But here we go. These are generating one after another. Now we've got some interesting results. I personally like these two the most right here. You can even now move some of these like out of the way. You can delete individual ones. It's really, really cool. It's very intuitive if you're used to Adobe products, or probably it is similar in tools like Affinity Designer, Canva. I don't use those myself, but I'm guessing a lot of the sort of shortcuts and the move features are similar. So if we want to focus on this one right here, let's say you want to kind of build this out more, make some edits to it. Well, what you could also do is you could say with the magic fill right here, we could take the lasso mask, highlight a bit of a section right here in the sky, and then say add some eagles flying above the mountains right here. Hit magic fill, so you can kind of make tiny edits to your graphic and flesh it out a little bit. We could probably also add like a tent along the bottom right here, or maybe like an RV, you know, a motorhome, a camper, if you wanted to make it camping themed. So there we go, that's eagles. In one case it didn't put any, but yeah, I mean, some of these do look all right. And let's go ahead and also try and add a bit of an RV down here. I'll make this a rectangle, and let's say add an RV in front of the trees. I think I might have made a mistake here because it's actually regenerating this area as well, which is where I initially placed the birds. I did only want to have this bottom bit selected. Either way, we'll get a quick glance right here at Ideogram's interpretation of an RV. So it's quickly added that and matching the original style of the graphic. It's not perfect, it could be a little bit better, don't get me wrong, but I think that is quite a decent result. And it just shows how you can kind of build out a graphic or a base graphic and kind of add to it. You can also now drag this to the side and you will see your previous versions right here underneath. So everything is kind of saved in a sequence. And here we've got the original and then the 2 iterations, one after another. And let me also show you the extend feature, but for that we probably need a different kind of graphic, something more poster themed. So here we are, I've generated a set of posters right here, travel poster designs for Space Coast in Florida. And what we're going to do now is we will pick one of these and expand it. So quite a lot of these turned out pretty good. I quite like the look of this one. What you can do now is, in this case, we have a bit of a weird border right here that I don't really want. So you can literally just crop this with these sliders right here on the edge. So I'll crop off that border and then I'm going to click on extend right here. And I can now fill in more of the image if I want it to be larger. You can still expand this as well, like so, and customize the shape of your poster. Let's actually drag this up a little bit at the bottom because we don't want like a massive extra piece right here where the text is. Maybe we'll extend it a bit at the top, and let's just delete this up here actually and hit extend. Now you do need to fill this in. I was hoping it would work without that, but I'll just once again say travel poster of Space Coast, Florida, and keep the same settings as before and hit extend. Let's see what it does with that. And there we go. It's added a border again, but it's definitely done a decent job of kind of expanding and adding to the edges of this poster. We've also got, once again, multiple options. Some of these don't look as great. I think this original version worked out the best, was actually added to the edges. Some of these are a bit strange, but that's just a quick example of the extend feature where, you know, if you have something along the edges of your graphic that you want to add more to, you can do that. And it might also be useful if you ever have a sort of POD t-shirt graphic, if you have it being cut off at the edge, right, of the screen, maybe like part of the head or part of a leg or something is cut off, then just quickly use the extend feature and that should help you fix that. But yeah, in terms of poster design, it's definitely going to be a useful feature. And yeah, this is a really exciting development with Ideogram. I really like this new kind of more intuitive workflow or layout in the Canvas system to quickly edit and kind of browse around different designs. And it's also going to make it quicker and easier to fix little imperfections than it would be afterwards in Photoshop, or kind of save that additional step at least. So let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and I hope this video helped you out. Oh, and by the way, I always forget to mention this, but I now also have an affiliate link for Ideogram. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you're new to Ideogram, if you've not signed up to it yet, if you do it through my link, you actually get 100 bonus credits to start off with, which will help you generate even more graphics. If you want to learn how I generate not just the prompts, but also my graphics with Ideogram in bulk, then make sure to check out this tutorial next.